When a character in a film has aspects we can relate to, we're far more likely to enjoy that character's journey. This concept of relatability has evolved into the customization we see in modern games, but it's not just about cosmetics and story anymore. Customization of skills and abilities is key in most modern games. So what do your RPG character and your trading card deck have in common? Let's talk about it today on Draw 5 Move 5. Hey everyone, and welcome to the table. My name is Gabe, and this is Draw 5 Move 5, a show where we discuss games and gaming mechanics. I first started playing Dungeons & Dragons about the same time that my interest in Yu-Gi-Oh! Became more competitive. On first glance, these games couldn't be more different. One is a tabletop role-playing game. It's all about creating a character and experiencing an adventure with a group. The other, a trading card game. You craft a deck of powerful monsters, spells, and traps, then clash with one duelist at a time as you unleash your cards and brandish your skills. But as my love for both games grew, I had this realization. The character I imagined, and the deck I constructed, both served the same purpose. They're the lens through which we experience the game, the vehicle that allows us to interact with it. This is the part of each game that can be customized, and that creates a unique play experience for each player, one that's balanced by strength and weakness. So, what do I mean? Well, let's take a look at the Dungeons & Dragons character. If you're a player in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, the first thing you'll want to do after meeting your Dungeon Master, the person in charge of mediating the game and presenting your party with challenges and engaging events, and talking about the kind of game you'll be playing. Is it going to be sci-fi based? Is it going to be more traditional fantasy? Are you going to be flying crazy ships through the outer space? You never know. It's to build a character. You have a character sheet to fill in your information. And every character has a race, class, set of ability scores, background, and a set of equipment. In addition, you're able to describe what your character looks like, what their backstory is, their defining personality traits, and what skills they're good at based on their class and background, as well as what spells they can cast, if any. The sky's the limit for concepts, and your character is your toolbox to interact with the game. Everything they are and everything they're able to do are your tools to solve the problems that the DM presents you with. They will be especially good at certain things, like combat, spellcasting, physical strength, problem solving, or social interaction. But no balanced character is good at everything. You might be an especially skilled spellcaster, but also be very frail because of your low constitution. The system inherently balances itself around every character in the game having strengths and weaknesses, and the decisions you make in the character building process will affect what your character can do well, and poorly, as the campaign goes on. These same ideas apply to deck construction in trading card games. When building a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, you create a pile of 40 to 60 cards, consisting of any number of monsters, spells, and traps. Decks can often be divided into certain overall types based on their main goal. An OTK deck describes a deck that wants to win in one turn or as fast as possible by dealing large amounts of damage at once. A control deck, meanwhile, wants to control the game by snowballing advantage and preventing their opponent from making moves. In short, all decks have a strategy and cards that contribute to it. Like the D&D character, your deck is a customizable toolbox that you use to solve problems. Its main strategy highlights the tools at your disposal and its inherent strong and weak points in dealing with problems. The problems, in this case, are your opponent and their deck, instead of the creatures, puzzles, and challenges the Dungeon Master might throw your way. Because there are so many ways to play and construct a deck, Yu-Gi-Oh! And all other card games, just like characters in D&D, balance around the idea that every deck will have inherent strength and weakness. Some matchups will be easier or harder depending on the deck you play. It's not just in role-playing games and trading card games though. This phenomenon, this balance around the idea that your vehicle for play will have strengths and weaknesses is in most modern games. The 2018 Spider-Man video game makes use of skill trees, where you decide a path to go down as Spider-Man grows in strength, granting you access to certain abilities. You can put all your energy into fully exploring one skill tree, or dipping a little into each for more versatile but less powerful abilities. The trade-off for gaining a boost in ground combat might mean missing out on the most powerful ability for aerial fights. The skill tree system and the choice between specialization or generalization is visible in video, tabletop, role-playing, and trading card games. All of them. The Mario Kart series has a history of having different characters or karts with different power levels and skills. One character or kart may have a high top speed but low acceleration, or vice versa. The Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series divides the playable characters into 4 categories, comprised of speed, power, skill, and all-around. Which category you pick your character from determines in part how well you'll do in certain events. Competitive team video games like League of Legends and Overwatch have a plethora of characters to choose from with different skills, abilities, strengths, and weaknesses. Even fantasy football, basketball, baseball leagues, and regular sporting teams subscribe to the idea of balance around strength and weakness based on the tools at your disposal. The NFL's Giants might be having a great season in terms of offense, but lack the ability to defend themselves well. It's all about how your toolbox gets built. Customization gives players the ability to decide how we want to interact with the game and adapt our experience. It allows us to create this toolbox, which we can pull from to solve whatever problem the game throws our way. But that toolbox is balanced on the fact that we won't have the best solution to every problem. Our vehicle has strengths and weaknesses that we build in and accept as part of our play experience. This holds across most games in most gaming styles, from video games to sports and everything in between. Your RPG character is the same as your deck. It's your point of entry, and it says something about you as a player. Customization is the player's ultimate form of expression. So now that you're armed with your toolbox, let's bash some baddies and break some boards. Thank you so much for watching. You have my humble and eternal gratitude. What did you think of the conversation? Are there any more customizations in games that you can think of? Do they follow this same trend of strength and weakness? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so let's keep this discussion rolling down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video and you want to hear more from me, hit the like button. I'm putting out new videos every week on gaming and game mechanics, so be sure to subscribe and ding-a-ling that notification bell so you never miss an update. My name is Gabe, this is Draw 5 Move 5, and until next week, go have a good game.